It's another episode of Sharing with the Sheriff, brought to you by Brookeside Funeral Home.
It's Allie here with Sharing with the Sheriff, and we are back for 2025. It's February, and I got Mike Morrison here. How's it going?
Good. We're already 1 month in. I can't believe how quickly it's gone.
I know. So we were catching up. The last time we talked was back in November.
It's been a while.
It has been a while, and you guys have had a lot of changes, new hire-ons and all that stuff. Can you expand a little bit on that?
Yeah, we had 3 of our new hires that graduated the academy, which is a big achievement, for them and their families. And we're glad to get them out. So we've done the onboard training with them, and now they're going through field training with their field training officers, which is exciting.
That is exciting. So field training, what does that entail? Are they out with everyone?
Yeah. So they are out answering calls, and then they have a more seasoned deputy sitting in the vehicle with them and helping them through the process and kind of showing them the ropes of how to be a deputy and what we're looking for here at the sheriff's office and what's expected of them.
I like that. Mm-hmm. Teach them the right way. That way it'll all just be good.
Yeah, train them up right. That's what we got.
I love it. Now, you had a pupper dog just retire.
We did. Canine Asa, and of course, handler, Deputy Norton, just retired after several years of service here for Chelan County. And I know that's tough for both of them. My dad was a canine officer as well, and I saw just kind of the emotions that play there when a canine handler has to see their partner retire. The nice part is, though, that Canine Asa got to go home, and we'll get to live out the rest of the years with Deputy Norton, which is good to see. I mean, they've established quite the relationship with each other, and we're thankful for just the amount of time that they provided here for our citizens.
I remember Canine Kate.
Canine Kate, yes.
Yes, that was a few years back, but I remember Canine Kate. I'd always see her on TikTok.
Oh, yeah. So that's with Deputy Lewis and with the jail. But yeah, Deputy Lewis has done an excellent job with the canine program there. And of course, you've seen Chief Johnson over in East Wenatchee. They just launched another canine program, and that's just done excellent. So we still have Canine Reuben and his handler, Deputy Hegberg, and then of course we still have Canine Rue, which is our emotional support dog. So glad to see Rue still out there doing the valuable work.
I love that so much, and I want to give condolences as well. Yeah,
we lost Canine Reno, and of course the handler there was former Deputy Aaron Shepard, and really appreciated Aaron giving me a call and let me know that Reno had passed. We certainly appreciated Reno's efforts. And, you always hate to see. I mean, that is a member of our agency and a member of our community. But, again, Reno got to live out the remainder of his years with Aaron and his family, and that's something we like to see, too. Yeah,
of course. Of course. Well, and I mean, on my aspect, I guess the civilian aspect, dogs are just... they're our best friends. Mm-hmm. I mean, and that I'm sure a handler is going to get attached to the canine just as much, if not more, because I mean they're protecting each other too.
They're inseparable. So typically they're with each other almost 24/7. So I mean they're riding around with them during their whole entire shift. We work 12-hour shifts, and then when you go home, they're still there bonding with you and the family. They are a member of the agency and a member of the handler's family as well. So.
It's the coworker. It's the coworker and loved one you want to work with 24/7.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that partner will always have your back.
Yeah, very much so. Mm-hmm. Very much so. What else is going on? You guys did a lot of stuff in the month of December, especially with the Les Schwab toy drive that was going on. Can you expand a bit about that?
So we had Santa Stars as well, and that was up there in Chelan. And then we had Eastmont Elves that we got to join Chief Johnson and his crew over there at the Fred Meyers in East Wenatchee. And then Shop with a Cop here in Wenatchee at Hooked on Toys. So
I showed up for that for a little bit. I heard you guys were over there, and I was like, I need pictures. That is so cool. I remember when I worked at Hooked on Toys and Shop with a Cop was going on, I would always beg the owner, Tom, to let me ring you guys out. Yeah. Because I just wanted to see I wanted to meet the kids. I wanted to see what they picked out. And I always got a kick out of the stories. Like one boy came up one year, and I remember he basically bought all of his siblings' toys and just got a little thing for himself.
You will see selfless sacrifice with some of these kids. You go through there and you see they're just buying stuff for their parents or their brothers and sisters. And even some cases, when we're over Fred Meyer's, they're just buying food for their family and not so much gifts. It really resonates with you, the significance of Christmas, that it's not about receiving gifts, it's about giving. And just the fact that we as a region are able to provide that kind of opportunity for so many families is certainly humbling. We're glad to see that tradition's continuing on. And we hope that we continue to do this and it gets bigger and bigger. We know that, we're fortunate to have Sergeant Adam Musgrove that coordinates it on the Santa Star side. That's also a partnership with Eastmont Elves. And you've watched that program just get larger and larger. They were even able to provide gifts for every single kid that was at Seattle Children's during the month of December, which is huge. Those kids are going through really some challenging times. And the fact that we're able to bring a little bit of happiness and joy to them during that time is just everything you want to see.
You're going to make me cry. That is amazing. And I love that you guys are even utilizing your community to bring everybody together, to be able to do that for, even people outside of our region. It doesn't matter if they're in Seattle or not. We're connected to those people in some way or another. And you guys see that.
Yeah, we're indebted to this community. The fact that we have the amount of support that we have and the citizens that we get to serve, we should fight for that every single day. It's very unique, and we're appreciative of it. We recognize that that is not the norm, and that we will do everything possible just to maintain that and strengthen it if possible.
Yeah, of course. I see that. I see it just, we've talked about it before, the resource officers, just the impact. My little girl, whenever she sees you guys, she's excited. She wants to say hi. She wants to shake your hand.
We've tried as hard as possible to be connected with the community in as many ways as we can. We know that we do not want the only interaction with us to be when we show up when no one's having a good day, and we have to arrest somebody. We want to establish those relationships before. So we have Deputy Hunter out there at Cascade School District, Deputy Mutch at Cashmere, and then we have Deputy Bushy up there in Chelan that really paved the way for us to be able to connect with some of these families on a different level, and for us to be able to go through and help them before, if it happens that they're having a bad day. They know us, especially when we get in those touch a truck kind of events, National Night Out.
All those are so fun, and with the community and everything. And it gets, the kids for Touch a Truck, it's like gold in their eyes. Well, for us too, because some of those rigs are stinking awesome, and I've never seen them in person.
we have some very cool toys. That's a recruitment pitch there for anyone out there listening. That we get to share with the community, and of course the community provides those tools for us to be able to use. And I think it's just an opportunity for us to really strengthen when we have these kind of events, that no greater friend, no worse enemy mentality that we've kind of adopted. We want everyone within Chelan County to know you can count on us. We're there for you. We're your neighbors. We're your friends. And then if you come here and you commit crimes, no worse enemy. You will have an adversary in the sheriff's office. We will pursue you, and I think we were just talking about a little bit that we had an individual that I think might have thought that if you leave the state, that the actions that you did here in Washington State will not be waiting for you. They will.
Let's talk about that. We don't need to allude. We're talking about Leavenworth, okay?
Yeah. And no disrespect towards Mr. Solstice as well. I understand that sometimes we make bad decisions, but we want to make it very clear that if you come here to Chelan County and you commit a crime, or you're alleged to have committed a crime, it does not just go away if you leave. So that doesn't just mean leave our county. You can go to other counties, and we've shown that we'll follow you and we'll bring you back. And that also counts if you go to another state. And I would push as far that, we have good federal partners as well. If you want to leave the country and think that's going to work, we'll wait. We definitely want to bring you back, hold you accountable, simply because the citizens deserve it.
Yeah.
And no one should feel like they can just get away with it, or once they leave that, in a sense, they're free and clear. That's not the way it works here in Chelan County.
That's not the way it works. And I want to say with the Leavenworth, specifically what we're talking about is when that truck went through and just destroyed Front Street, essentially, or the ski hill. The
heart and soul of one of our communities in the downtown portion of Leavenworth.
Thank you for putting it that way, because what I was telling somebody about it, I don't care whether or not you are religious or not, whatever you believe in, that's not okay. You don't go and destroy something. What if somebody was showing up to Leavenworth that day that has had this on their bucket list for their entire life?
Yeah.
And then somebody just decided to ruin it.
Well, I mean, the bottom line is it's not your property to destroy.
Right. Vandalism at its peak, if you will. For me witnessing, at least, I've never seen anything like that.
I do commend him for showing up, coming back to Washington State and standing in front of our judge, and him taking the opportunity to explain his side of it and what might have happened or what motivated him to do that. And of course, he'll get to come back to court here in April and further explain what happened.
I commend that as well too. That's putting on the shoes and buckling them up, if you will, and saying, all right, let's face the music.
Yeah. And I think we made it pretty clear, too, in working with the prosecutor's office, that we went with a nationwide extraditable warrant to let them know that one way or the other, the meeting was going to happen.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I love that so much. Well, I'm just glad that you guys are just, you're go-getters. You're for the community. And you also make it happen. That's it's not a threat. It's a will.
Yeah, our deputies take ownership of things that happen within our county. I mean, most of us live here within the county. And when I say most of us, usually the other half is living on the other side of the river, East Wenatchee area.
Right.
We're all connected. This is our home. We're not going to allow someone to come in and disrespect our home. And we understand, too, that these citizens that we're out here representing are our friends and our neighbors.
Yeah.
And we take that personal as well, that it's not just a job. I mean, it is a calling. I think this is one of the most noble professions anyone can step up for. And we have the right people in the right place. I can't take credit for this. This is the men and women of this agency that are out there doing the work and ensuring that people are held accountable. And I'm grateful that every single one of them work here for this agency and are willing to accept the challenge of being a law enforcement officer here, especially in Washington State. It's a challenge at times, but
what are you talking about?
We're glad to call this place home.
Yes, of course. This place has been my home since I was born. I mean, I was born over in Renton, but I was quickly back over in the Brewster area by the time I was 2. So this valley, even coming up to Wenatchee, is all I know, really, living wise. And, I've always been able to say that I live in a very safe area. And I thank you for that.
We do have a safe community, and that's thanks to the just perseverance and the dedication of law enforcement region-wide, not just Chelan County Sheriff's Office, but Douglas County, East Wenatchee, our partners with the State Patrol and Fish and Wildlife. I mean, it really is a partnership and a community effort here when it comes to law enforcement.
And we appreciate it so much. What do you have coming up for this year that you see, that you can talk about at least?
Well, we're working pretty hard on the legislative side, working with our representatives and our senator for our region, trying to secure some funding. We recognize that's going to be a tall ask. There's clearly some financial challenges on the state level, but tomorrow I'll head over to Olympia and doing a joint program right now with Spokane County, Snohomish County, King County, and ourselves to try to secure what we're looking for is $10 million a year from the state to help support our aviation units. So we're the only 4 sheriff's offices and agencies, I'd say overall, in the state that have helicopters. We rely on those tools quite a bit. We saw actually most recently, we had a rescue that was highlighted in Good Morning America. That's pretty much the norm for rescues here in Chelan County. If we did not have helicopters or access to even partnering agencies' helicopters, a lot of people would probably die.
Yeah.
And I know they're like, well, why not just rely on King County, Snohomish County, and Woodbury Island Naval Air Station to come over and do all the rescues for you? Well, if the weather is bad, they don't fly.
Yeah.
And, it's not always guaranteed that they're going to be able to get over the mountains. So we rely on our helicopters quite a bit, too. They've saved several lives. We've expanded, so we're going to try to do that. We've also got a grant application out with Congresswoman Schreier's office, looking to secure about $500,000 for less lethal tools. So they're used to de-escalate. So new tasers, Bola wraps, which shoots out Kevlar webbing, and also looking at 40-millimeter launchers, pepper ball guns as
Wait,
potential.
you just mentioned one that was like a web. So you get to be
like
like Spider-Man?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Well, we're looking. We've seen that law enforcement has evolved. And, when I first went through the academy, it was just strap up your boots and get in there and fight until your
Yeah.
suspect gives up. So I'm glad that we've evolved, and of course, we're coming up with some better tools. We're controlling the pace of these contacts. We're trying to utilize our communication skills more, having different options out there to be able to come up with a peaceful resolution. And so far, I think we've been pretty successful on that front. But then another front we're looking at too is we have a grant out there. We just got one secured through the U.S. Forest Service to help fund our deputies who are out there doing Forest Service patrol. But we're looking at another $250,000 grant that we've asked for. We are highly dependent on grants. I think if anyone listening to this is aware, has been reading the paper, our county's been struggling financially. But despite those financial struggles, what's expected from our community does not go away. So we can't just say, hey, we're not able to handle this because we don't have enough money.
Right.
So we've really pushed hard, especially over the last couple of years, to secure well over a couple million in grants since I've been in office. We're going to continue to push hard for that because we understand that just because money's tight doesn't mean that the calls that people are asking us to come in on are just going to disappear. So we have to come up with solutions, and that's what we're pushing for. So, and we also have 2 openings right now. So we're able to expand out, secure 3 new positions here last year. We filled one of them. We've been very selective on who we want to put in uniform for our agency. And so we're going to try to fill those 2 as well. And that'll get us back up to full staff again, which we've been happy to say we've hit full staff several times since I've been in office. That's a rarity here in Washington State. So we're going to take that as a win. And it's just pretty much you can give credit to who does not want to come and live in Chelan County.
Right.
Yeah.
I love that. And so there are 2 positions opening. You have applications out there for grant money. You're looking ahead for 2025 as being an up year, which is awesome.
23 I viewed was an opportunity to stabilize operations within our sheriff's office. 24 allow us to expand out. So we increased the size of behavioral health. We increased the size of our agency with the new deputy positions. We increased the size of campus security. We brought new equipment. So we've got stop sticks, blood kits that are coming out too for trauma. We also have entry kits that have come in if we have someone who's barricaded in their facility, and we're going to continue on with that this year, continue to expand our capabilities. We have a new emergency management facility that's being built this year. That'll be the first new building a facility for this agency since the 80s.
Wow.
So we'll have an impound lot coming on, and we're in talks too to try to secure our own training facility and build a new one. So I'm thinking so far we've been on a good trend. Let's keep pushing hard on that direction because I know that when the citizens put me in this position, they wanted results, not talk. So here I am trying to back it up and doing what we can to increase the capabilities of this agency and better serve our communities.
I love that. Well, thank you. And thank you so much, Mike Morrison, for everything you do for the community, for your department, for, and thank you first responders in general, and especially in this community. I mean, we're staying afloat because of you.
Well, I don't know if it's because of me or our agency, but I would have to give a shout out to our firefighters in the region.
Yes. Yes.
They did an amazing job last summer knocking these fires down quickly. We're trying to do our part. We're actually trying to phase out our flares that you typically see when we use for collisions. We actually got these little pucks that light up our LED lights. So we're hoping to use those during our more fire-sensitive times of seasons. So we're not responsible for maybe putting additional work on our firefighters.
Yeah.
I give credit for them ensuring that our community doesn't look like LA is looking right now or some other communities we've seen across the nation. Thanks to Chief Brett and his crew for doing what they do. Thank you to our other partners, East Wenatchee, Douglas County, Wenatchee PD, State Patrol, for just allowing us to join all of our resources together to better serve. And thank you to everyone who lives here in Chelan County who makes it easy. I mean, really, we've got pretty good people who live here.
Thank you.
It's the truth. It's the truth. It's a beautiful area. We're very fortunate.
Well, we appreciate that. We appreciate you. We appreciate the departments across the board. And thank you so much for sitting down, for sharing with the sheriff.
Thanks for having me on again.
Of course. We'll talk with you so soon.
All right. Looking forward to it.
Sharing with the Sheriff, a presentation of Brookeside Funeral Home.